Here we go. A video I wanted to do for a while. My wife kept telling me it's too early, too early. Here is the top 5 videos that I have made for the Villages that you guys, my subscribers and viewers, rated as the top videos over pretty much a little bit more than the last year. And what I want to do is summarize here why each one of those videos is important, what is some of the takeaways, and what was some of the questions that people asked me about those videos. And not surprising, my number one video that I did in June of last year is, can you afford to live in the Villages? It makes sense. Everybody looking to whether to move there has to decide if they can afford to live there. So that is really a fundamental question. And I don't think I really need to update it. One of the things that I still get comments, even this past week, the most common comment, which I did a follow-up video that's not in this top 5, was, how can your electric bill be that small? Now, understand, I'm part-time in the Villages. When I'm not there and things aren't running, now I'm still leaving on my heat and air conditioning and all of those things, my sprinkler system. You know, I've got somebody that watches the house and maintains the house for me. But my utility bill, my Duke Energy bill, still, over the last 3 months, is $34 and some cents. That's what it is. It still is, even since last June. Compare that to my New England monthly electric bill for a smaller place. $280 is my average over the last 3 months. Big difference. Now, if you're full-time, this is what my follow-up video said, is plan on 80 to 120 for your electric bill. That was my experience. That's the only thing I would change, is take a look. It gives you an idea. Bigger houses will cost more, smaller houses will cost less, but it gives you a really good idea. My number 2 video over the past year, now it isn't in the same league as can you afford to live in the Villages. It is buying a golf cart in the Villages. I did my research. I showed my numbers. It's a great video once you've made that choice to go to the Villages. I still haven't. You know, that video was posted in August of last year, and I'm still looking. I've done follow-up videos of my 2 favorite, but this is just some area to look at once you've made that decision to buy. So this is not in order of if you're looking to the Villages, but that really is my second, because golf carts cost a lot. They cost anywhere new, I'm going to say from $11,000, $12,000 to $25,000. And there's a lot at $14,000 to $17,000 is really the cost. So golf carts, if you're looking for a golf cart, that's my number 2 video as far as most viewed. My third one, which is my oldest video, and this is the one that kicked off me doing anything with the Villages in my channel. But number 3 is how to purchase. There are a lot of questions when you're looking at the Villages that are unique to the Villages, that you have to understand their system. You have to understand how the developer sells all new homes, and how previously owned homes can be sold through a regular realtor or by their village agents. So you have to understand that. I did this because when I bought, I'll be honest, I did not know everything. I did not do all of the steps that maybe I could have done, but I felt confident I did enough of the steps to really understand the system and be prepared. This is not like purchasing a home. I purchased homes before. This is not the same as, it's got complications. It's got bonds. It's got all kinds of things. And I've done some spin-off ones. Do you pay off the bond? All that kind of stuff. Bonds are not included in the sales price always. And it makes it a complication that most people aren't really in tune with. So that's a great video if you're going to someplace like the Villages that it doesn't seem to work the normal way. Once you understand it, you get why it's like it is, but you have to really watch that video. I really did this one because people that have watched Can You Afford to Live in the Villages, I got a lot of comments like people couldn't afford or were questioning whether they could afford. So I did a video on finding low-cost homes in the Villages. And when I did that, it kind of showed how you do some research to find out. Now, the Villages isn't for everybody, and not everybody can afford to live in the Villages. It's clear that it was less expensive when it first opened and first started, before, the numbers of people are there. Now we're talking 70,000 plus homes there. It's not the same community as when they first started as a manufactured housing park and grew from there, and then ended up with kind of what I'm calling modular homes, and then to custom homes. Kind of went through a transition. But this video I did was for those people who are looking for inexpensive homes, but they want to live in the Villages. And I did some spin-offs that were similar, but not really. And I'm not a realtor, so I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to sell you. I just told you the tools on the internet that I used. And that was number 4. Number 5 most viewed for the Villages for me was pool homes. Not surprising. Pool homes living in Florida makes sense because it's warmer. And it's nice for a lot of people to have their own pool. When you live in the Villages, I'm going to pull it up here. When you live in the Villages, I'm not so sure you need a pool. But I did one on pool homes and what you could find for buying a pool home. And that was my number 5 video. But I'm going to tell you, I'm not so sure you need a pool home. I'm going to pull up here a map of the Villages and show you all the pools available to you that if you don't have a pool at your home, there's lots of pools. There's so many communities that have a family pool, an adult pool, and then you have these recreational pools, usually at the rec centers. And each one has its own purpose, but even in my neighborhood, I live in Citrus Grove, and in my neighborhood, the family pool is just what it says. So when you have guests and family members that come, you can take them to that pool. The adult pool is no kids. And the recreational pools are really like water volleyball, exercise classes, those things that you got to look at a schedule at the recreational area of what's going on and what's the schedule. And there's open swim laps. They've got lap lanes that you can use. But let me just show you the map that you can use here. So it's on the districtgov.org website for departments and recreation. And I'll put the link up. Okay, I got it up. Here is just a sample, and I'm starting from the north part of the Villages. You're up by Spanish Springs on the right and all the way to the top of Route 42. Now, the Villages is really big, so if you look at these, you can see each green dot, and we'll start with the upper left. First responders, it's a family pool. Then you've got Solaire. You have another family pool at Chatham. So you can kind of see those different types of pools. What I called recreational pool, it's a sports pool. So there you go, right there in that upper by 42. But look at all the green dots when you look at this. It is really amazing of what you've got. Now keep in mind, a lot of this over here by the Spanish Springs, a lot of this was started in this area is where the Villages started. And you can see a number of different pools. Now, the Villages does a good job of going back and updating pools, putting in handicap lifts, doing things that they make it a special place. But as you can see, there are lots of pools and green dots. Every one of those green dots and the dark green, the sports pools, are all swimming pools. So you've got a lot. There's 466A. Now you get down towards Paddock Square. You know, you have sports pools like at the Rec Center for Eisenhower. And you can really see how the Villages goes out of its way to make sure that they have adult pools, family pools, kind of spread out. And when you live here, you can go to any of those pools. Now, I won't complicate things because some country clubs have pools, but you have to pay a special annual fee to go to those. But a country club pool, because they have a restaurant usually at the country club, they serve food there at the pool. So there's an extra fee for those. I'm not even showing those on this map that you can get at districtgov.org recreation site. But let's go down to the new area. Here's the legend of what sports pools, family pools, and adult pools. And just look down here. It shows through Citrus Grove and the whole Fenny area, which are relatively new, but not the newest. You can go past south of this where Newell, the village of Newell, Dabney, are all being built south with pools, with recreational areas, all going to be throughout. And even here across the turnpike, there's going to be the expansion of Eastport and at least 2 or 3 more villages on the other side of the turnpike. But I just wanted you to know there is no shortage of pools. So even if you don't like the one in your neighborhood, you have lots of choices here to go to any pool. You just have to bring your ID and you can try them out. So those are the basic parts of the pools. I think that's why pool homes, people who are first moving to Florida, I did it myself. I want everything. I want the pool home. You're going to go through a spell of you want it all, and a pool makes sense. If you're building new, unless it's a designer home or it's something you worked with a developer on your own home that you have specially made, you might have it there. Or you buy a new home that has room for a pool and you build it later. And some people have asked me, can you go through the process? Well, I haven't gone through the process, and there's different pool companies and different, you have to go to the architectural committee and show where you're going to put the pool and what it looks like and design it to fit the neighborhood. But you can have a pool after the fact if your lot has enough room. So that's something with the new. With the existing, that's why you watch my pool video, because I show you how in the listings to sort out and find the homes with a pool. I've been very happy, even though I'm part-time, I use the pools within the villages, and the pools are great. So, you know, if you're thinking about moving, I know you have choices of, can you afford to live there? What neighborhood? But pool is usually in the mix because of the warmer temperatures from May to October. Pool may be a priority, but you can, even in videos that you watch on YouTube, people are in the pool now. March, February, it gets to 90. It's pool weather. So they do a good job in the pools. They maintain the pools very well. And I think you'll find this very helpful. I hope you have enjoyed this video. It is a quick video, but of my top 5 most viewed villages videos. And the reason you may want to go back to them and take another look, because they will help you in your process. These are the top 5. Hopefully you take a look. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video.